Good morning, guys and girls. Welcome to Ultimate Motivation. Now today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most important essential capacities you need to have to be able to succeed in whatever you want to achieve in life. That capacity or character trait is belief. If you want to get something done, if you want to acquire something, reach a specific goal in your life, you'll need to believe that it is possible. You got to believe in yourself. It's like Muhammad Ali says, impossible is nothing. Now many people in life, they do a lot of talking. They so-called talk the talk, but they don't really walk the talk. Because deep inside of them, they are afraid. And as a consequence, they don't really believe in their own words. So before you embark in anything, strengthen your belief muscle, your self-confidence muscle. Now in order to help you guys and girls to do this, let me tell you a true story about incredible belief. Meet Hannibal. Hannibal is a 29-year-old general in 218 BC. That is the 3rd century before Christ, so a very long time ago. And Hannibal was a young general in the army of the Carthaginian Empire. Now let me tell you a bit more about Carthage and the Carthaginian Empire. You see here a map, and on this map you see two big empires, right? In the blue you see the Carthaginian Empire, and in the red you see the Roman Empire as it was in the 3rd century before Christ. Now the Romans and the Carthaginians, they were sworn enemies, and they've been fighting for decades on the Mediterranean, that sea here in the middle. But to be honest, they weren't very successful. One time the Romans won, the next time the Carthaginians won, but in essence it didn't move the needle. Losing a few ships on one side or on the other side, it made them win a battle, but it did not make them win the war. Until one day, this young maverick called Hannibal, a 29-year-old general, he stepped up to the king and to the king's advisors. And the king's advisors consisted, of course, of older, more experienced generals. And he told them, if you keep doing what you've always done, you keep on getting what you've always got. We need to do things differently. So instead of fighting the Romans on the Mediterranean, on the sea, we're gonna attack them over land. They will never expect us coming over land. Now the older, more experienced generals, they all started laughing out loud, and they said, Hannibal, young friend, if you want to do that, you're gonna need to cross the Pyrenees with an army. And if you would exceed in that impossible task, after the Pyrenees, you need to cross the Alps. And the Alps, dude, they are impossible to cross with an army. Now Hannibal paused. He paused and didn't say anything until all the generals had stopped laughing. And he looked them in the eye, each one of them one by one, and he said, we will either find a way or make one across the Alps. Now the generals laughed even louder, except one person. And that person was the king. The king did not laugh at all. And when the generals noticed that the king was not laughing, they all went quiet. Now the king did not laugh because he saw one incredible thing in Hannibal's eyes. He saw belief, one of the most incredible forces in the universe. The belief, the self-confidence, the trust that this guy could do it. The belief that it could be done. So he asked Hannibal, what do you need for this crazy undertaking? And Hannibal said, very confidently with belief in his eyes, I need 60,000 foot soldiers, 12,000 horsemen, and 40 elephants. The king frowned and replied, elephants? Are you insane? You mean mules or camels or llamas, right? Elephants are very hard to handle, and they're not the best wear animals. You're crazy if you take elephants on this trip across the Alps. And Hannibal said again, sire, if you keep doing what you've always done, you keep getting what you've always got. The Romans are known to fight in square formations, with interlocking shields and spears sticking out. They learned this from the ancient Greeks. Now every army that storms into the Roman soldiers smashes into this square formation, and as a consequence they get many casualties. So I want to attack the Romans with elephants. I'm going to give the elephants a big shield on their chest, and with the elephants we'll crush the Roman square shield formations. We're going to change the rules of the game. Now Hannibal was right, because actually historically after him many other armies started using elephants to fight the Romans. The elephants were actually the first tanks in history to attack armies. Now, coming back on my story of belief, history has proven that Hannibal, his armies, and his elephants actually did cross the Pyrenees and the Alps, and he gave the Romans a very hard time. So here's my message to you guys and girls. Work on your belief mindset. Get that can-do attitude. Again, like Muhammad Ali said, impossible is nothing. And when in doubt, when you're insecure, every time when you don't know, oh man, I'm not sure I can do this, think about Hannibal and say to yourself, I will either find a way or make one. Thanks for listening. You want to hear more inspiring motivational stories? It's easy. Press the subscribe button on this channel. More amazing stories to come. Thank you. Keep punching.